if you're in Italy. It's a beautiful, massive villa, vineyards, beautiful vistas. It's lovely.
It's picturesque. It's exactly what you would think a villa in the countryside of Italy would look like.
Exactly. It's just really pretty. And it's, you know, the art team did a really great job. But as per usual, with anything that's rainbow, there's a darker side to it. The family has been forging and selling art, and Alibi was there undercover a long time ago, and Rainbow's coming in to put a stop to it.
As always, there's a beautiful side. This map looks gorgeous, but there is chaos and destruction and a lot of things going on this map. How does it play?
The map plays really well balanced. When I went through and started designing this map, it was made to go ranked and to go pro straight away. So there was a lot of focus on navigation and flow and viability of the bomb sites.
And it is one of the most competitive maps. You built it this way. You worked on this from the ground up.
Yes.
Where did you start when designing this map?
I started with a pen and paper in 2D. I'd just go and look at the silhouette of the building and how it's going to look overall in just the world. And then I go through and start mocking out where I want to put corridors, rooms, you know, and the flow from outside to inside. And I go through and I start mocking it up bit by bit, just on paper. And then I rough in the bomb sites, think about it, do a few iterations, and I go straight through and I just start building it, and then we start playing it straight away.
Right. So you start off with old school pen and paper. That's really old school, Jeremy.
Yeah,
in a way that feels good as a game, as an experience.
It's iteration and learning as you go. You really need to just look at it, look at the angles, look where the doors are, look where the windows are, and look at the rotations that can possibly happen from the design. And that's one of the great things about being a level designer, is you can just go through, and if it doesn't work, you can just erase it and start again. And you know, there's been a lot of different versions of this map. Very early on when we started playtests with the pros liked it. They loved it. They were like, okay, this is going to be a good map. There was one bomb site that wasn't really that viable.
You've been talking about how it's a competitive map. What makes it so competitive?
I believe the reason why it's so competitive is because of the viability of the bomb sites and the rotation possibilities on the bomb sites. And then when you add in the destruction of this map and how many walls are destructible, you can open up a...
So here is the outside. You have three main entrances: the main entrance, the fountain, and the ruins, or three spawns.
You have three spawns. Main entrance you can go through, and this map's a little bit different. There's actually a safe-ish entrance.
On the first floor, we do have kitchen, dining, and lounge library. Let's start off with that first bomb site, kitchen dining room. What's the strategy that we're going to be seeing on that, Jared?
Any exterior access to any bomb site, so you always have to go through a room. You have to commit to the bomb site. You can't just jump through a window, plant, and run away.
Yeah, and as we're going to be seeing in this bird's eye overview, you are going to see a lot of buffer rooms. What's the design intention behind buffer rooms?
The reason for the buffer rooms is because we want the team to commit to the plant. We don't want them just to jump in and then go far back and like hold their plant from a long distance. We want them to have to stick around and actually try and defend it. And that's the reason why we did it, just to make it way more viable and more competitive.
And you know, when our earlier talks about this map, there was actually one of those entry points and became just way too easy to access the bomb site. But you guys changed that.
Oh no, we flat out changed it.
Kitchen library, Jeremy.
Lounge library is super interesting. You should see in that info. In the lounge, there's this little nook that you think is the best place to go and hide.
A little nook and cranny.
Little nook and cranny. But just behind if you don't reinforce the walls behind that nook, then you're just completely open for like someone shooting through the wall. You have to remember that between the first floor and second floor, it's completely line of sight. Everything's destructible apart from the top of the stairs, so it's really easy to defend and attack a bomb site from above if you really want to.
So, and that line of sight floor is really going to become crucial for defending these or even attacking these, because you can put pressure on the defenders from that site, as we've seen a lot on a map like Border that does have one of those line of sight floors. We saw that a lot this weekend, where people are pushing through that or even defending through that as well.
It's one of the great things to see the strategies that come out when the maps are actually released, and same thing when this comes out on the test server on Tuesday.
Our aviator, games, and trophy room and statue room. Jeremy, let's break down this first bomb site here. which is the aviator room and the games room.
The games path through a vault where you see the hammer on the wall.
Oh, that's where we see the Sledge's hammer in the beautiful case that you might have seen in the teasers or something like that.
It's up on the wall. The art guys love to just put stuff in the map.
There's a lot of Easter eggs I've noticed in this map.
There is a number of Easter eggs. It'd be interesting to see how long it takes the community to find them all, actually. But what's really interesting is the bomb sites are adjacent to each other with a breakable wall, and there's really fast rotates, and you're in close proximity to red stairs, and you're also in close proximity to the main stairs from the main entrance. So the opportunity for rotations on all of the bomb sites is brilliant.
And that's one of the main key aspects of this map is the rotations that are going to be really crucial. It brings in a lot of strategy as well.
It's going to be key for teams is communication and how they're going to rotate on and off of the sites. Even when you're attacking, how you're going to rotate. And there's so many viable options for rotations on this map, it's kind of mind-boggling. And
as we're seeing here, there's a lot of destructibility too.
Yeah, there's a
trophy and statue. There's a really key part of this bomb site that I'll allow you to talk about.
Yeah, this one's really interesting. It's actually my favorite bomb site. It's because the bombs are across an alcove, across the red corridor. So basically, you can fight across the alcove, which is really interesting. You're super close to the astronomy room, which allows you to get downstairs to the main red corridor again. But you can always just vault over the railing straight into the red corridor. There's also a breakable wall at the end where you can break the wall and try and control the red corridor from above, but it's a hard thing. It's a hard thing to achieve.
And we're taking a look at that alcove right now, or just a few moments ago. That becomes a really critical point of chaos and tension. But it also allows for strategy with the rotation as well. Even if you have a bomb site on the first floor, or maybe even crucial for many different reasons, especially because there's no bomb site there. But it comes into play, it really becomes a crucial point. Why is it so important?
It's really important because it's key for the rotations, because you've got the main stairs, the pantry stairs, the red stairs. This is where you're going to rotate through all of the time. That's also where you're going to enter from, because if you come through the crypt tunnel or you come through the cellar tunnel, you're coming through to those massive wine barrels that you're seeing on screen now, and you're entering through the barrels. And as soon as you blow that, you're giving away your position. But you can also just come through the garage, which you're not going to make any noise. It's just a door there. But what's really fun is you see the hatches in the ceiling, and you see all of the stairways and all the ways to go. So when you're defending kitchen dining, you're gonna rotate through this. When maybe if you're up in statue trophy, you need a quick rotate, you might end up coming back through and up around, and it allows for really good flanking paths.
So it's a really viable way for the attackers to push in, meaning that the
is someone who's very stoic and reserved. Her background is she immigrated to Italy at a young age. Then she grew up, joined law enforcement, and succeeded there. She joined GIS and actually went undercover in operation with accuracy, which means she's deadly in most distances.
And as we're seeing, she's 3-speed, one armor.
That's right. Yeah. So it helps her with mobility. It helps her set up before a match, place all of her gadgets, and start roaming and getting that intel on the team.
And what about her second primary?
She actually has, for the first time in the game, a shotgun pistol. Which is hilarious and a lot of fun, and she's a bit of a hybrid character where she roams, she places, they're called prismas. She gets 3 of these decoys to plant around, and then it's all about counterintelligence, pretending where you are when you're not actually there, or misleading the enemy team into thinking you're in many places at once.
And as we saw with Maestro, he is a true form of intelligence gathering.
That's right.
But Alibi kind of falls in this middle ground where she's not technically a trap operator, but she's not technically an intel operator, but she has these counter intel abilities.
Yeah, there's a duality to that. And also she can receive intel if you happen to shoot her decoy, or drone through the decoy.
Or even throw it outside and to pretend to be your decoy, as we saw in that. That's, I mean, those are really interesting strategies that we've seen in your playtest while designing this operator. What did you feel what was the vision behind it?
It was really about making the team second guess what you're doing at any given time.
That down a little bit further, because I think that's really important that we discuss that psychology a little bit. From the day one of Siege, we are taught to aim for the head, shoot, and have really lightning fast reactions, especially on a pro scene stage like this.
Yep.
Now we're asking players to change that a little bit, or maybe not change it, but second guess themselves.
And that's what's great about her. She introduces this kind of hesitation or doubt, and that means that Alibi can capitalize on that.
Capitalize on it and create different strategies, mess around with
have fun with that. It's
attackers.
Really annoying for an attacker to kind of pin down the right Alibi.
What do you think is the best strategy you've seen with Alibi?
The House of Mirrors one is really great. There's also ways to synergize with her. So you plant a shield in front of her gadget to protect the base. Maybe people have to jump through to disable it and they fall into a frost trap, or there's a Capcan trap. There's a lot of ways to synergize with the different
So while
team.
she may not be a true trap operator, she has a lot of synergies with trap operators, and she has a lot of synergies with the whole team in general, because she does have that unique passive when she deploys a gadget outside of the defender's boundaries.
That's right. Actually, the passive is shared to the entire team, so anybody a gadget. So you'll see there's IQ who can spot it out. When you have Twitch, you can destroy it easily with the Twitch drone, and even a Thatcher EMP will disable it temporarily. One of the hardest counters is Glaz, of course. He'll be able to see through any of the decoys, and only the real Alibi will light up.
Yeah, so if you do have, a Glaz peeking or somebody on defense trying to rush out, you will have Glaz as an advantage there, because that's a really aggressive move.
It is.
It would be hard to really pull that off. But also, as we're seeing with Thatcher, it temporarily disables the decoys, so it's not a full hard counter, but a little bit of a soft counter, just to know if she is doing that House of Mirrors
trick. Clears the room a bit.
Clears the room. What would you say is the best way to counter
her? Honestly, if you get a super aggressive Alibi, Maestro is a very charismatic leader. He has a bit of history with Alibi. He joined the GIS. After that, he went solo and ran his own boot camp. So he's a natural leader, a natural teacher, and now he's with Rainbow Six. So he's pretty beefy.
So he's a thick boy.
He is. And
another thick boy in Rainbow Six.
We've given him a lot of tools to play around with that. So like you said, he's really about brute force when it comes to his loadout. He has an LMG, and because he is a 1-speed, you can put an ACOG on that if you want.
I can hear a reaction coming from the crowd here.
I can't wait. So these are turrets that he can place around the map.
And you can place them anywhere, or
just like Jaeger, you can put it on the floor. You can put it on the walls, and then you can use it as a camera. It can see through smoke, and it is bulletproof. But when you open up the visor, you can actually shoot some lasers.
Shoot some lasers, and those lasers only deal about 5 damage per shot.
It's low damage, and even though it's continuous, you can overheat it, so you can't just hold down and wait.
So there is a little bit of a balance to it.
Exactly, and when you're shooting the laser, it means that you can actually be destroyed by bullets.
Right.
So on a plant site. So you want to be able to position both your cameras on both plant sites, or at least destroy enough so you get that vision and you can start giving that intel to your team.
And he has a few similarities to like an Echo, for example. He has that stopping power. He has that intel. Would you say he plays like an Echo, like a Smoke, or?
He's actually in that same family of being able to stall. So if you see a plant going down, essentially, if an attacker walks into a room and sees the camera, they're going to have to take care of it. Otherwise, you know that Maestro's feeding information about what you're doing.
Feeding information, potentially even stopping that plant.
Yeah.
I think I've even seen some strategies where people will have two Maestro cameras set up and they'll just hop back and forth between them.
You can be so annoying with that. It's great.
So annoying. So he's even also can even fall into a harasser category as well.
Exactly, yeah.
In a similar way that Twitch can kind of do a variety of things, Maestro is going to be really crucial in various aspects.
Yeah, he has a lot of utility.
Yeah, especially if they are kind of pushing from the top side or defending from the top side on Villa as well. They can have a Maestro set up on the second floor or even in the basement. Just keep an eye on things.
Of course, Maestro actually plays really well in Villa. He plays really well in a lot of maps actually. Like I played with him an awful lot, and I've played with Alibi an awful lot. But Maestro, yeah, in Maestro plus Villa,
it's fun.
That's a fun time.
Plus, the Italians are equipped with these just explosive power and brute force to destroy this entire this entire beautiful villa that you worked so hard on, Jeremy.
It's a real shame.
The same kind of counters as you will with Alibi. You have IQ who can spot them out. You'll have Twitch and Thatcher who can disable it temporarily, which is incredibly useful, but of course you want to destroy it too, so you do have Sledge that can just run up and smash it.
Yeah, he can just smash it, which makes sense.
It does.
You know, it just logically, it's just like he has a sledgehammer, this is a camera, it's gonna be gone. Yeah, I really love that, but also, we mentioned Echo, we mentioned Smoke, we mentioned the pick and bans.
Yeah.
Do you feel as though Maestro is a good alternative to those? Because if there is a pick and ban, you could potentially see a map without a Smoke or without an Echo, and that means that Maestro could be picked alongside that.
Exactly. He can either be a good alternative or actually, if those options aren't taken off the table with the ban system, he can synergize really well to create this super stall composition.
Yeah, and there's also one that we haven't touched on too, which is Dokkaebi.
Dokkaebi, yes. She can pop into the camera. She can't use the laser, but she can use his cameras.
She can use his cameras?
Yeah.
One for Maestro. These are head-to-toe customizations that do come with the year pass. So if you do own the year 3 season pass, you will get these right off the bat day 1. So if you want a fancy-looking Alibi or fancy-looking Maestro, on day 1, you can have that. Additionally, drum roll, please. We have a new elite, the Thatcher Elite.
That's right.
This elite skin obviously comes equipped on 6 defensive operators and was in one of our test servers before. It kind of looks a little bit like Maestro's camera, but you can't move when you're in it. How else does it? Second Echo drone with Operation Parabellum.
Yep. There are a lot of cameras now.
So many cameras. How did we resolve that issue?
So we updated the observation tool so that you can jump between a lot of different gadgets and the gadget families that they are belonging to. So this should make it really easy.
Jeremy, the significance of map buffs are huge. Map knowledge in Rainbow Six is huge. So
Yeah.
what is the reasoning behind these changes?
Basically, to bring it up to date, to make it more current, to make it more competitive. Wow, they really like this. To make it look better and to play better is why we're doing the map buffs. This map was a great map already. It's just so much better now.
New animation that we're introducing. Why are we doing this animation?
Mainly because it's a little bit silly that you're smacking a box.
It's a playlist that allows you to play Villa and only Villa in casual for 4 weeks at the